Hello everybody, my name's Scott. I'm with the Dirt Chimps and that moto app, and today I'm going to be recording a route through the backcountry from Vernon to Lumbee with the end goal of sharing it through the GPS exchange. So anybody who's coming to town and wants to know how to get from A to B with an agreed upon difficulty level and duration and all that stuff, you can. All you have to do is go to the GPS exchange on that moto app and just download the tracks, or just zap them straight to your phone. It's pretty cool. Got them all turned around. Now we're going to watch a very graceful exit. Whoa, dude! It is so powerful, so heavy, and the front suspension is not there. And you can't make this bike light. Like, no. Oh, there's a little ledgy thing. Let's just flip it and preload and just do all those things. No. Okay, what you're seeing here is TMA Mobile. I started recording at my home. I'm on Hartnell Road now and just headed into the backcountry. Depending on how things go, I may film another segment. Could be thinking about an appreciation moment for the KTM 690, a bike that's new to me. I've owned everything around it except this one. I'll tell you why it took me so long to get one, and why I love it so much. The other thing I could film would be what's in all these bags down here. I do quite a bit of riding. I get in 80 to 100 rides a year, and I'd say about half of them are solo. And I'm really becoming a student of what to bring, what to leave at home, what's important, what could become important. And that's the kind of thing that you only get from doing some research and life experience, right? Okay, for any of you who have watched our videos in the past, or you come to the Adventure Bike Gathering, this is Hartnell Road, and most people at one point or another have seen a video or have gone on Twisted Steel. It's a great way to get from this side of the mountain to the other side of the mountain with a really sustained difficulty 2, 3 grade. There's two ways you can get into it. I'm going to go this way. I don't know why. It's got a little bit less gravel road on it. So we're going to be using Twisted Steel to get around the mountain, and then instead of coming back any of the interesting ways that we could, we're going to go up and over Bardolph Mountain. Well, it's called Bardolph Lake, so I assume that's what the mountain's called, and come down north of Lumbee. Great trip. Certainly not the fastest way to get there, but it is the most fun. So this is what a 3 looks like. It is pretty chunky, can be loose. I got some big rocks, might have some big ruts. But I also happen to own a BMW 1250 GS, and I find this is about my comfort limit on that bike. Maybe a little bit spicier, and that's fully loaded with Moscow 80s and all my camping gear. I find that the GS, once you get into the harder 3s, it starts to fall on its face a little bit. This would be fine. This is kind of in the low end of the 3s. Yeah, that's why it's important to have these rating systems. It's a communication tool. You know, on a dirt bike, this is for beginners. On a GS, it's for a fairly advanced rider. Okay, I just pounded the brakes to explain a common backcountry challenge when following a GPS line. I'm here, and unless I have the tracks downloaded, the map downloaded, I might not know, is this track going straight or is it going left? And I might go, well, I'll go this way, and then you find out, oh man, I gotta turn my bike around and go back. Now, if you're on a little dirt bike, not a problem, kind of fun. You put your foot down, turn around, that beat, gone. If you're on a fully loaded GS, it can be a significant problem. So while we don't have it yet in our mapping tools, and we don't have it yet in the GPS exchange, the goal for next year is to have turn indicators that are really easily implemented by the creators. This is where I would push. I'd be in a creator mode where there'd be big buttons here, and I go right. So if you're doing this way, as you approach it as the end user, there's going to be a big thing that comes up on your screen. Keep right. Pretty cool, eh? And then mathematically, or very simply, we can figure out if you're going the opposite direction, we can tell the person what to do. In this case, it would be left, which might not be as intuitive because it kind of goes straight, but that's the way it's gonna look. It'll be fine. It'll be cool. All right, let's carry on. So we're getting into one of the classic sections of Twisted Steel. The reason people love it so much is it's sustained. It's like this. It's interesting. You can take an easy path like what I'm on, or get down in there. If you're with someone slower and you want to mix it up, take the hard line. It's super fun. There are actually a lot of really fun ways to get over this mountain and to the other side, but I wanted to make a route that I could have done on my GS a couple days ago instead of taking Highway 6. I have my GS fully loaded and I can do this, and it's fun. There's certainly spicier ways to get over there, but I think this will have the widest appeal. This route is not completely free of gravel roads, but these are really essential connectors to get you from one really good trail to another really good trail. Alright, here we go. One of my goals for the GPS exchange is to create a whole bunch of little mini how to get from here to there, and then you can piece together your own, whoa, that's super slippery, your own adventure. So last Wednesday night I decided I'm going to take my big bike out with luggage, and I'm like, one, where should I go in general? And once I had that kind of figured out, I started looking for interesting ways, you know, from here to Lumbee, from Lumbee to Grand Forks to Christina Lake. And I think that'd be so cool if there were just multiple ways. You can look at the map, you can browse that way, and then download the tracks you need, or like I mentioned before, you just beam them to your phone. It's so cool. No downloading, uploading, any of that junk. And yeah, the other thing you could do is you could filter by difficulty rating. Like, don't bother showing me any tracks that are a D4 or higher, because I ain't into that right now. Or don't bother showing me those beautiful paved routes, because I want to get into the gnarly, dirty stuff. I just think there's so many possibilities. We've been running big database programs, primarily DATs, for a little over 15 years now. And it's all boring business stuff. Well, it's not that boring. Compared to this, it is. So we know how to handle big data, serve it up, run filters, move things around, submit things to phone, get phones to submit things to the internet. Got all that figured out. Gotta tell you, this is an exciting project. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna do one more little talkie segment about epic GPS adventures. And then I think I'm gonna show you what I'm packing. I think that'll be interesting, and I want to make sure that you guys, if you have any opportunities for improvement, I'm wanting to hear them. I really do. So that's one way to solicit some input. So Epic GPS Adventures is like Ride BDR is in the States, multi-day backcountry trips, and we got one started for Canada. It's called Epic GPS Adventures, and we call them CDRs, Canadian Dual Sport Routes. And we've got a couple of them already. The Okanagan one, that's the zone I'm in, and the Kootenay one, which is south of us. And they're great. They're really great. So we've got a not-for-profit society formed. I am the president. I'm already speaking in the past tense. Did a bunch of things, like got the legal framework set up, websites done, marketing materials done, sponsorship programs done, initial sponsors done, a bunch of great stuff. Now I'm ready to hand it over to someone else, at least the presidency. There are 5 of us on the board. Now we need to move into the phase of the people person, which I am not. Business get things done guy. I'm the guy who makes the jokes about the hurt feelings report, because I just want to get things done. That doesn't work so well when you're working with a bunch of volunteers, right? So that's fine. I recognize where my strengths are, and I'd say we're actively looking for a replacement. I think that's fair. So if you know of anybody, email me. Or email the society. found a interesting place to stop. It's interesting for a couple reasons. Look at all this neat terrain. So it's interesting to look at, interesting to ride. And I was riding a side-by-side, an RS1 up here. It's a solo thing. It was awesome. Loved it. Cooking. Sun got in my eyes. And I can't remember exactly what tree it is. I think it's actually that one. I smoked it. Rolled it over. It's one of our most watched videos on YouTube. I think it's called RS1 Crash if you want to see that. I guess to do a lot of this filming I have to leave my helmet on, which is unfortunate because it's a little bit warm. Okay, I think there's a whole video in this, not just about my tool roll, but people's tool rolls and what they pack, what they choose to pack, how they've created efficiencies. I have one efficiency left to get in here that I'm aware of, and that's I have 2 wrenches, a 13 and a 10, and I like a 10-13 combo. Those are just notes for the filming. Okay, so this, I really love this hood bag because it's wholly waterproof. Sometimes the big Sony camera's in there. Today, I always have a lens cloth handy. This is my always carry pouch, so it goes in either my backpack or my tank bag or wherever, always. This is my emergency first aid kit, which includes only the essentials, like trauma stuff. Being able to cut off armor, what the hell is that thing called? Tourniquet. Some pressure bandages, and just major stuff. I have a big first aid kit that I would take on a multi-day, and that's more for like your blisters and your things like that, and of course trauma, but okay. This is extra juice for that. I should have it plugged in. I've got a USB thing on here, but I've got a brick in here, and it's really good, and I've got a cable for a smartphone, USB-C and whatever they call the stupid Apple ones. Okay, in here, this is tube, and then a tow rope / rope to pull the bike up so I can have either the front tire or the rear tire suspended, provided I have something like a tree and not a swamp for my kickstand to go in. Or I can always put it up on top of something, the skid plate. Or you can tow bikes, or you can man-haul bikes. There's lots of options there, right? Okay, around to the other side quickly here. This is new to me. Take a look at what I'm wearing first of all. It'll make more sense. I'm wearing a chest rig. There's no hydration in here. It's like a small camera because I like to take pictures. My other phone, I forget what else. I think snacks or something. No water, no backpack. Okay, so the new to me thing is thanks to Taco Greg, and it is this hydration flask that has this filter built right in. So what I do is I go fill this up with whatever water's available, crack this baby in there, and that filter, between going from there and into my tummy, is taking everything out. I have yet to take even a single sip. Like, this is day 1. And I was thrilled that it fits in here. I'm only out for a couple hours. I'm gonna be by water a number of times. I should probably have a sip before we go. Let's take a quick look at this. Hopefully this isn't going too long for you guys. Okay, if I'm caught out at night, this can go on my helmet, or I can, if I'm not wearing my helmet and I need a headlamp to fix something, that's why I have that. These are pills, salt tablets, painkillers, things like that. Mostly in here on a day trip because of the salt tablets. Shockingly helpful things to have. Okay, sunscreen, a lighter, lip balm. This is the oddball. This is actually zipper repair for my tent. Doesn't really need to be in here. These are earplugs. These absolutely need to be in here. I'm going to be cranking down the highway to get home, and it's going to be loud as hell. This is the thing that goes in my helmet to hold the Franken light or whatever it's called. This juice here, I always have this on me. When I wear the visor, it gets so many bugs on it, right? And clean it off. Fire starting, these are cotton balls soaked in Vaseline or squished Vaseline. I need to reload that. I use them all the time. Fire starter, towel, because you might go for a swim or you just might need a towel. And this is a little tinder box. This is kind of like old school 1800s. It's got more of these and some really dry little tinder. So that's what's in this thing. We'll put that together off camera. Is there anything else? No, that's basically it. That's what I have for my day trips. I don't think there's many of these things that I'd really want to do without. If you guys have any opportunities for improvement, let me know. Could include bear bangers, flares, bear spray, which I really don't like carrying. I do have a pocket knife in here. Yeah, love to hear from you. Let me know. Thanks. The only thing I forgot to mention is my buff, which is around my neck. We have some TMA buffs. I like to get the Cool Max ones. And I call it my air conditioner because before I leave and periodically throughout the ride, I'll stop and wet it and put it back on. It is brilliant. Okay, let's go. Something. I remembered something I forgot. It's not on my kit here. I'd love to figure out a way to have a saw, a hand saw, like a silky saw especially, because they are perfect. I'd love to figure out how to mount it to my bike. I often have it in my backpack. Andrew always carries his. He's kind of like the saw guy. But when I'm solo, hey, no saw means sometimes you have to do something dodgy to get around or just turn around. And that's a bummer. Okay. An important juncture here, if you happen to go out on this road. That way is Noble Canyon, and I'll take you right to Lavington and the highway, and then you can zoom down the highway to Lumbee. This is the other mountain here, the other awesome dirt biking area, Bardal Forest Service Road. So we're going to go up here under the power line, and then we're going to come out north of Lumbee. So if you're kind of done, you want to go, there's a great little cafe down there called the Blue Nose, but you and I right today are going to go up here. Quite the playground here under the power line. That's the hardest way to get up. I'll avoid that so nobody follows it unless they really wanted it before. You can go around to the right, you can go up that if you want something really ugly, or I think this is probably the main one. It's short, it's easy to keep your momentum. Into the next one. Come on. It's a funny little trail that appeared a couple of years ago. It really makes this leg of the journey possible and much more enjoyable. Get my air conditioner going again. Yeah, baby. That's nice. Holy moly, look at the skid mark. And you know why? Because look at that. That is stunning.